Yes, sir. Visible na po.
Okay, so a pleasant afternoon, everyone. Just to also share with you, this is actually an excerpt of the usual course or training that I'm conducting. But in this case, since we will just be meeting on a few numbers of hours and days, so I just actually modified it and turned it into a quick course for project management principles, practices, and software application. So for me, it's important that you also have the grasp of the principles of project management. Well, aside from the practices, and this is very relevant right now, no? Yung software application. Okay, so syempre, kung medyo na-share na ni Sir JB, I would want to get some info from our participants. So guys, I do believe you do have your internet because if not, hindi ako naririnig ngayon. So can I just ask everyone to go to www.menti.com and just type in the code or either just go to this link, no? So let me just share the link on the screen so you can just easily navigate on that. Okay, so but for those who have already access yung screen, good. Okay, I'll paste it sa chat box. Yan. So, okay. So, guys, actually, there's a question there. So, just kindly fill in. Okay. So, just to make this very interesting, no, yung ating discussion. So, I hope you're also seeing yung screen. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, just to get a the location from our participants. So, at least we know, no? Okay, if ever that you are not located within the area of Cavite, siguro just point your or just tag yourself outside the outside the map.
Okay.
Okay, so well, it's quite interesting. Okay, may isang out of town. Nice. Dalawa. Tatlo. Okay. Well, probably out of the country. Apat. Okay, so 28. So for how many are we in the sa
Right now, sir, 54.
Okay, 54. So
I've
we're
that
just
53.
53. So okay, we won't stop until siguro 80%. But it's nice to know, di ba? That this is part of the technology that we're living right now. Regardless that we are located differently, remotely from each other, we can still collaborate. And very interesting. So right now, actually, I am located somewhere between the boundary of Dasmariñas and Silang. So yeah, I can say that probably may dalawang malapit sa akin. Okay, so yeah, go ahead. Siguro, let's just wait for a couple of seconds until we drop. Okay, so yeah, let's just reach it at up until 45. I know because we are 53 right now. Okay, 39. So who else? Okay, or wala namang pangalan, but we just want to know, no? So majority of our attendees are, well, I can say that
Matatansa.
yeah, there are a lot of hindi naman lahat, but participants are also connected outside Cavite. Okay, but General Trias running off, parang poll lang ng botohan, ha? Okay. So we have 8. Oh, talagang scattered tayo. Somewhere in Tansa 3. So in Silang 2. Okay. So I guess one person only in Dasma. Okay. So wala tayong anyone from Carmona and GMA. Oh. Siguro ito nasa Batangas. Ito nasa dulo. Malapit sa Tagaytay. Okay, I think so. Yeah, let's take this number. So thank you guys, no, especially for those who participated. So at least we know that we are scattered around Cavite right now. Okay. So actually, since we know our location, I also want you guys to share naman yung ating demographics, no? Um, I guess so this is something also interesting to know. Well, probably you guys already know this one as well. So let me just yan. Okay. So since we are 40, 50 plus, sige. I hope this time madali nang sagutin. 36. Oh, okay. Akala ko equal lang eh. 19, 20. Okay. 23. In fairness, kaganina parang patas lang. Okay, is this the maximum number na natin? 24. So I guess, I think so. Majority of our participants are ladies. Okay, so guys, thank you very much. No? At least we know we are scattered across Cavite, and in demographics, we're roughly, yun nga. Oh, majority pink ha. Okay. Okay, so thank you guys. I think so from that is a good statistics to learn na, no? Okay. So since you have shared about yours, so let me just go over again to my screen. And siguro I'll just want to share pa very little na lang. So since I'm not sharing my camera, but of course, you know. So I'm John Sad F. Relieve. Currently, I work as a technical service manager for Project Pro Incorporated. So Project Pro is actually a engineering IT company wherein we implement and we educate industry, especially in the line of engineering and construction. So we actually work with project management solutions, especially those that are well known right now in the market, no? So once you go over dun sa, well, I do believe, no, most of our participants right now are yung mga graduating na, or tama, no, Sir Joy?
Yes po,
Graduate.
sir.
Okay. So
Graduating.
wala namang hoping to be. Talagang 100% nice. So I am actually also a certified specialist for Oracle Construction and Engineering Solution. We know that Oracle is quite a big company. That's why they do have different set of solutions. When we talk about solutions, actually medyo malapit sa inyo to, no? We work on processes, tools, and more of business rules. But of course, in relation to information and technology pa rin. So that's why in terms of project management, we do this. We do have this software's application, which considered as tools. Okay, so we do have yung mga enterprise project management, and now we have yung mga cloud technology. So aside from that, just to build up your interest, we are also working with building information modeling. So in terms of cost estimations, 4D planning. So this is actually new technologies that works with processes, building information modeling, so cost estimation, and we even do works with infrastructure. So actually, since IE establishes and works on the processes, I believe so, with the concept, no, this is also very interesting. We translate controls and measures into various graphs, no, so that stakeholders can easily understand. Of course, in terms of management, controlling, monitoring their project. So this is something for infrastructure. And well, we also do have project management in terms of waterfall, no? Yung waterfall project methodology. And this is something that actually I'll be sharing with you guys. That's why you're very fortunate. Cavite State is really, you know, they have the benefits of all you students as being part of the IE college, no, to really learn and understand more about this application of technology. So this is Power Project from Electrosoft, and this is actually one of the solutions that you must understand, or you'll be able to learn at the end of this session. Okay, so does it sound good? No? And if you notice, probably, definitely, you're seeing at my badge. So we do have this PMI of waterfall. So in terms of project management, we do have actually two main grounds for project management. So we have yung waterfall methodology, and at the same time, we have yung agile. So siguro you are very familiar on that, no? Yung mga lean management, Six Sigma. Okay, so those kinds of methodologies that we works on project management as well, we relate it. And at the end of this quick course, the goal is also for you to have this badge, no? Ngayon kasi whenever you present yourself, actually mas ano na yung branding. In terms of your profile, on your avatar, you can even add your badge, no? Kaya at the end of this quick crash course, you will also be gaining this one. So how? Of course, that's for you to find out. That's why I'm encouraging you to really focus and give your best on our sessions, no? So this one also will be coming from the Project Management Institute. Okay? Okay, so aside from that, just in case that you still want to be connected, no, stay connected. So I'll just be sharing some of my socials. So of course, number one, very important, especially you guys will be graduating this time. I would encourage you to have your LinkedIn. No? So if you just want to find me in LinkedIn and connect, so just look for this name, John Sad for Tamilius Relieve. And well, just in case that you still want to add more friends, okay, so just also look for that name, John Fantamilias Relieve. Okay, so that would be all for my side, no? Para lang you get to have a glimpse and you can have that kind of easiness. So I always believe in rules, no? That's why I would want to set these house rules all throughout the sessions that we have. So I just want everyone to be aware that punctuality is actually a virtue that you will that will give you gains once you're in the corporate world, no? So punctuality, I want you to be on time. More time means more learning. And of course, I want you to be present, which, well, somehow nagbago na yung meaning since we are working in technology. But just to be clear, I want you to be here in terms of, mentally, well, physically, maybe not, but every time, all throughout our discussions, we will be have a question and answer. So definitely, I'll be calling names. So for every topic, it will include the following. So we will have discussion, we will have reflection, and we will be allotting a question and answer. Okay, roughly would run for 5 to 10 minutes. So for discussion, feel free to raise questions, but note that we have a time to keep. And of course, same thing with question and answer. We will be working with the one mouth rule. So what does it mean? So once one is talking, I would like everyone to listen. Anyways, if you have some queries or you would want to raise some questions, just raise your hand. I do believe in Zoom meron tayo nun, no? Or either type question with question, Q with question mark, so that I can also determine who to answer first, no? Don't ask out of the topic questions, probably especially, well, just for us, no? Para hindi tayo ma-derail dun sa ating topics. Cooperate and do all the activities, because again, the main objective of this one is for you to be really able uh, to understand our lesson, to empower you. So don't hesitate to ask questions during exercises. Always give your very best. And actually, since this is my second time doing this, I do believe that at the end of the session, we will have some recognition. So um, I actually extended yung recognition mechanics from the very start of our discussion. So
Me too.
yeah. Okay. Is there any question? Hello? Okay. I guess I need to continue lang. So at the start of the course, you are already divided into identified groups, no? I've already captured yung groupings from Sir JB. So we will then recognize yung best group, not only based from the assessment that you will create, no, at the end of it, but actually I think so that this is just fair that um, we will also be considering yung the group who have garnered the most points in terms of the reflection, activity participation, and presentation definitely, since we do have our assessment. Okay, so I really want an interactive discussion, no? So that yun nga, I could also gauge and measure if you guys are learning or into our topics. Eventually later on, actually I provided a digital roulette. So ayan, hindi naman ako magtatawag, but we will just let the roulette yung ating ruleta ang pumili. So for the course track of our discussion, we will always be starting 5 p.m. and we are expected to finish by 7 p.m. Probably if you do have any further question, we will still consider that, but we will not super extend to that time. So we will be meeting each other for the next succeeding 4 days. And among those days, day 1 to 3 will be synchronous. So meaning we will be meeting each other, and you will be having a synchronous session once we have already yung mechanics for the assessment. And lastly, for the 4th day, we will be having your group presentation. So what would be yung ating inclusions, no? So for the day 1, this which is today, so we will be discussing more about the project management principles and practices. So if you notice, these are the topics that we ought to discuss for today. Okay, then for the second day, we have broken down the topics into 2 major topics, which is planning and project management applications. So at the on our next session, I'll be now sharing with you the project management application that we will use. Definitely where to download and how to install it. The planning is very important because this will actually works with the practices. And on the day 3, this will be more geared towards the software. So I'll be sharing with you how to use the software that I'll be introducing. And the second part will be a discussion on the assessment activity that you will be doing as a group. So if you noticed, for the day 1, we have the principles. The second day, we have the practices. And on the third day, we have the software application. So once we have already discussed those items, I will then let you do on your own with your groups, then meet you at the 4th day for our group presentation. So kindly note these dates. So this is today, March 21. Then I'll be meeting you next tomorrow, 22nd of March. Then our third discussion would be on 24th of March. So I do believe you have also already an idea on this one. And our presentation would be on the 31st of March. So from 24th to 31st, I believe you have ample time to do our assessment. So for any questions, before we further move on to our topics. Okay. Okay, if there's none, then I'll then moving on. So okay, so now we have discussed those things which is very necessary. Let us now start with our day one topic. Okay, so this will be our topics for today for the rest of the 2 hours. And just to be clear, at the end of this would be the outcome that we are expecting from you. So you'll be able to define project and probably enumerate its attribute. So define project management. Ano bang project management? Enumerate project management knowledge areas. This is very important, especially if you would want to pursue yung pagiging project manager. But actually, everyone dreams of being a project manager. Kaya this is really very exciting and important, no? Enumerate basic project success criteria, understand the triple constraint in project management, enumerate the project life cycle, and at the very last session, we will be having yung understand project charter. Ano ba yung project charter? Okay? And yeah, actually, I've just created yung ating brain meter. So I'm calling this brain meter for you to visually for you to visually monitor yung yung knowledge that you'll be gaining all throughout the time that we have. Okay? So just to translate it into a Gantt chart, which is I know all of you guys are very familiar. Okay? So which is also part of our discussion of our topic. So this would be our tracking dashboard for every topics that we will be finishing. No? So a green one means that would be our next topic for discussion. Okay. So before I jump into the first topic, any questions? Okay, so wala. Okay, wala pa naman. Okay, so we have si Sir JB, no? Si Sir JB would be actually will be with us all throughout the session, right, Sir JB?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So thank you. Okay, so let's jump in. What is project? Okay. So I know you guys have already an idea of what project is because all throughout probably nung ating academic years is we've been actually subjected to different project. Okay? It started even way before elementary days. I don't know if that's the same thing that you still have, pero yung mga album ng mga bayani, album, 'di ba? Album ng mga herbal plants. So normally we call it projects, which is actually also falls within the definition of a project. But of course, as we matured and as we as we move towards yung a much more realistic approach in life, we are being open to different types of project. So academic years na-introduce na sa atin yan. And right now, especially na kayo magwo-work, ano nga ba yung project in the real world, in a real world sense? Okay, so we have actually a reference. This is an international reference and being followed by all the practitioner of project management. Okay, so based from PMBOK, so si PMBOK is a trademark of Project Management Institute, the one that I showed you a while ago. So they're actually developing their expertise in project management. According to them, project is a temporary endeavor undertaken to create a unique product, service, or result. So let's drill down to the definition, no? So a project is a temporary endeavor. So meaning temporary endeavor, it has a defined start and finish. So that's very important, 'di ba? Whenever that we are being provided with a project, laging tinatanong kailan siya matatapos. But of course, it's also important that you need to understand uh, that the time that you also need to start that project. Okay, undertaken. Okay, a project actually should consist of a list of tasks or activities or yung to do, no? Because if you don't have something to work on, you don't have anything to be to undertake, di ba? So that's one of the things that you need to consider for you in identifying a project. And lastly, is it needs to create a unique product o kaya services, or as long as it has a result. So this actually relates to the purpose or output or end result of that project. Okay? So napakasimple lang, no? A project is a temporary endeavor undertaken to create a unique product, service, or result. So meaning to say anything that your goal is somehow to produce a unique product, services, or result, and has a temporary has a definite start and finish, and requires you to develop a certain list of activities or tasks or steps. So that gives you a project. Okay, so aside from defining projects, we also do have what we call project attributes. So this is actually the things that somehow um, characterize a project, no? So probably in our case, I would want yung yung interaction. Ayan, so dito na natin ipapasok yung ating interaction. So if you noticed on the screen, we do have 7 project attributes. Okay? Alam ko napakadali lang nito para sa inyo. I would want you to help me identify ano-ano ba tong 7 project attributes. Okay? Na tinutukoy natin. Of course, alam ko naman mauhusay kayo, pero nag-provide pa rin ako ng hint. Okay? So if you notice, we do have the initials of those project attributes. And again, I actually prepared. Okay, para hindi na tayo mapapagod magtawag. Okay. Nakita ko lang to sa mga live selling eh. Sir Jabe, okay naman to, no? Okay. Okay. So, yan. Okay. So guys, I want everyone to participate, no. So sa bagay nandiyan naman si Sir Zabe. So okay. Ganito yung ating gawing mechanic. So let's have a demerits and merits pointing system, no, in identifying our best group. So in case that you answer, so your specific group will gain always 1 point, no? Dun sa ating scoring board. Well, based from your name, we could easily identify saang group kayo. However, in case na walang masagot, okay, doon natin i-implement yung ating demerit system. It will give a minus 1 point for the group that you belong. Okay ba tayo dun, guys? Para let's just give some spice sa ating discussion. Okay? Well, I think so wala namang choice talaga. Okay? So again, so help me identify, no? ano ba yung project attributes that we're trying to identify here. So if you notice, we do have the initials. So yeah, let us start, no? So parang ako lang excited. I hope you guys as well, no? So pwede bang mag-thumbs up naman if you guys are here? So game na. Everyone. And
Opo, sir.
ayun. Yan, thank you. Hindi ko nakikita kung sino yung active sa ano eh. Okay. Okay, so let's start. Wow, 58. Okay, laban sir. Wow, thank you Evander. Yan, sige. Isa shout out kapag nag-comment. Okay. Sige, let's start this one. Ayan, nasan si Christian Jose Villapando? Okay, yan.
Jose.
Oh, sige nga. Okay. Pili ka lang dyan. Then, kahit isa lang. Can you name one project attributes? One lang.
Communication po.
Communication. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Actually, sasabihin ko na kagad, no? Kasi pag pinakita natin, edi wala nang thrill. Actually, walang communication sa project attributes. But, communication is actually somehow related in managing your project. Okay. So, for that, of course, walang demerits kasi sumagot si Christian. Thank you, Christian, no? Wow. Okay, so let's call in another one. Yon, si Mary Paula Angela. Yan.
Cost po, sir, yung letter C.
Cost. Okay. Okay. So guys, actually indirectly, cost is actually part of a project, but it's not actually a project attribute really. But in working with your project, you actually works with cost. Okay? So what we're trying to identify here is yung mga basic attributes of a project, but Angela, that is actually also related to project. Okay? So can we call another one? Pag hindi pa to, sige, let's reveal one. Hi, Katrina Faye.
Team po.
Hello?
Hello.
Yes.
Rinig na po. Team
Yes.
po.
Ano daw?
Team po.
Team?
Opo.
Okay,
Team.
as in a group of people, team. Okay. So, well, probably the word itself, okay, is not really yung team, no? Sige. Team is also part of working on a project, but actually it's not really a project attributes because actually you can even do a project even you're alone. Okay, so since we don't have a correct answer among those three, but guys, good job, no? All of you have actually provided a very sensible answer. So let's unveil one. Okay, so let's start with the Tina. Okay, so T, okay, actually very obvious. We have already talked about it. But this is actually really one of the project attributes na hindi pwedeng mawala for a project. Okay? That project is temporary. Okay? Walang project na forever. Okay? So, parang ano lang yan. Hindi, joke lang. Parang kayo lang yan. Walang forever. Okay? So, projects is actually temporary. So, di ba kaganina as we discussed about it, project has a definite start and a definite ending. That's why one of the project attributes is project is just a temporary endeavor. Okay? Guys, that is very clear, no? So, anywhere you go, every time that we talk about project, it should always have a deadline. Okay? Okay, so let's jump into our next. Well, we have already discussed, no? Actually, yun nga. I just want to highlight that one. So, ayan, okay. It has a fixed lifespan. Okay, definite beginning and end. So, yeah. Sana hindi nga maging kayo yan, no? Dapat may forever. Okay, let's jump into our next. Let's go back pala. So, okay. So, let's roll again. Okay. Yan, di ba parang exciting? Okay, let's call si Grace Ann. Hi, Grace Ann.
Hello po, sir.
Yan. Yan, excited na si Grace. Yes, we can hear you.
Try ko po, sir.
Okay.
Unique po.
Unique.
Unique po,
Okay. Okay, so mukha akong si Kuya Willie. Okay. So unique. Okay, do we have unique? Okay. Actually, yes. U stands for unique. A project may be unique or a once-off endeavor. Okay. Nice. Let's give thumbs up para kay Grace Ann. Ayan. Sir Jave, can you help us list yung mga nakasagot?
Yes, sir. Apo.
Okay. Don't worry, Sir Jave. Nandito din kayo sa Roleta.
Bakit?
Joke lang. Hindi, pag kayo nakasagot, tigwa 1 point na sila. Okay. So, balik tayo sa topic, no? So, this is really true. A project is always unique. Okay? Baka sabihin nyo, paano yung mga housing project? Diba? Same lang sila. Actually, even though they follow the same design, but meron tayong, okay, muntik ko nang mabanggit. Meron tayong isang factor kasi whenever that we work on project that makes it unique all the time. Okay? So, hindi ko papapangalanan yun kasi that is something nandun din sa ating chart. Okay, so thank you, Grace Ann. So nice. Kudos to your team. At least, and tandaan nyo si
Thank
Grace.
you po, sir. Thank you po.
Thank you. Okay. So let's call again, no? Okay. Okay, let's. Yan. Okay. So let's call and see Kenneth. Ayan. Hi, Kenneth.
Hello po.
Yun. Mukhang nag-prepare si Kenneth. Kenneth, yeah, can you give me one project attributes?
Unfamiliarity.
Unfamiliar. Okay. Unfamiliarity. Okay. So, I think so mukhang kinapture ni Kenneth yung sinabi ko kaganina, no? Well, meron kang ang tawag dito, may word na napasok kaso familiarity. Okay, I think so. Yeah. Siguro I'll accept that one. But actually, it's not unfamiliarity, but the thought it's somehow the same, no? So we call it actually okay. Yeah. Okay. Ay, bonus na. Okay. Okay, we call it actually uncertainty. Okay? So, yung other U that we have on the list is actually referred to uncertainty. Okay? So, a project is actually uncertain in nature. Diba? What do we mean by uncertain? Okay? So, meaning ng uncertain, there are items that we cannot really predict or forecast, no? That it could always be parang different from what we expect. So sabi nga dito, for example, kunwari, we've created a project, then you selected, okay, wag na tayong lumayo, sa thesis na lang eh. Okay, a thesis is actually a project. Why? Because it has a certain start and finish, no? And it has, yes, okay, baka na bibigyan. It has a certain start and finish. Okay? Meron ba ditong nag-thesis na forever? Wala pa naman. O wala, kasi nga gagraduate na kayo eh. Okay? And sometimes, working with your project, identifying the theme in your project, okay, Di ba minsan may mga different factor, o hindi daw makakasama si ano sa ano natin sa thesis overnight. Okay. So those are mga uncertainties, okay? That we also consider. That's why being uncertain is actually a project attribute. So always remember that. Okay, so thank you. Ayan na, kinonsider ko na. Thank you, Kenneth. So let's call another one. Okay? Since ayan. Yan. Okay, si Nell Patrick. Hi, Nell.
Hello po, sir. Rinig po.
Yes, definitely. So can you give us, okay, one project.
Okay, hula lang po, sir. Dahil po sa word na uncertain, yung R po, feeling ko po is risk.
Yung R is risk. Okay. Okay. Actually, Nell, it's not. Though risk is actually part of managing a project. So I think so. Nice try. Later on, we will discuss more about risk. So I'll call another one. Thank you, Nell. Darrell. Hi, Darrell.
Hello po, sir.
Yes. I'm sure yung sagot ni Darrell. Go ahead, Darrell.
Ano ba po yung di napipili, sir?
Okay.
Namin tatakpan. Yung TU, dalawang TU po, di ba? Dalawang U tsaka T.
Yes, TUU.
So,
Okay. Nasagutan na. So you still have O, C, L, and R.
ano po, sir? O,
Okay, go ahead. So what do you think?
opportunity po.
Hmm?
Opportunity.
Opportunity. Ay, nako. Okay, so actually, Daryl, it's not. Though opportunity is actually part of managing risk. Okay? 'Di ba? Risk has two types. One is a threat and one is an opportunity, no? So a risk could be a threat or opportunity. So nice try. I think so. I will then stop from here, no? Then I'll be I'll be disclosing na yung hindi natin na nasagutan. Thank you, Darrell. Okay. So at least some of you have gotten yung answer, no? So going back dun sa ating discussion, okay, T actually stands for temporary. Then we have yung U actually stands for unique, project being unique. Then we have actually O for objective. Okay, always remember that a project should always have an objective. Kasi ang project na walang objective ay pagsasayang ng buhay. 'Di ba? Parang gumagawa ka ng isang bagay na wala kang objective. So, anong project mo? 'Di ba? Dito. 'Di ba? Ang hirap sumagot ng project na wala kang objective. So, definitely a project should always have an objective. Why? Because based from the project definition, a project should always have an expected result or product. Okay? So, from that result or product, dyan din natin actually kinukuha yung ating scope. Okay? And if meron kang scope, pwede mo siyang ma-estimate for the time and cost. Okay? So again, O stands for objective. Okay, let's move forward. Ano naman kaya yung C? Okay. C actually pertains to objective pa rin. Actually, typo, but actually that one stands for customer. Okay. So, what do you mean by customer? So, definitely, lagi sinabi nga natin, 'di ba? A project has a product. So, who is actually yung respondents or benefactors of that product or service or objective? So that pertains actually to customer. And customer actually has a different category. It could be an internal customer, somebody that is actually part of the project, or an external customer, somebody that is actually outside the the project, no, or yung mga external factors or external sponsors as we call. Okay, so yung mga internal customers, actually we also call them stakeholders. So project should have a primary customer or a sponsor. So most of the projects actually they works with a parties, no, actually especially if you will be if you'll be working sa mga construction and engineering, ang daming mga parties. May mga third parties, you have a primary parties, you have a contractor, subcontractor, meron kang mga trade workers. So those are actually customers, and they vary based on the level of their commitment to project and also based on the level of their participation on the project. Okay, so let's move on. So aside from customer, okay, actually ito nakita nyo na kaganina, no? So we also do have yung logic. Okay. Because a project is actually a systematic way of doing things. Okay? Di ba narinig nyo na yun? Systematic way of doing things. And that is actually project. No? So a project has a set of tasks. Di ba? Kaganina nga sabi natin. And it has a set of tasks or activities. And those tasks and activities actually relates to each other in some ways. In what way? So they relates in logic. Diba? There's an activity that should comes first before this, or there's an activity that you can work simultaneously, or an activity that you need to do on a certain specific time only. So yun yung mga tinatawag nating constraints. So again, a project should always have interdependence task or logics. Okay? And lastly, yung ating R, yan. Okay? Wala pa rin nakakahula, no? So that is actually resources. So a project will always consume resources. Okay? And I do believe you know what are there, what do we mean by resources? 'Di ba meron tayong tinatawag na 4Ms? So material, money, manpower, machine. So that is actually resources. A project will always requires resources, often from various areas. So it could be in terms of, yun nga, it could be people, organization, equipment, materials, and so on and so forth. Okay? So I hope you guys have captured yung ating project attributes. Again, project is temporary, project is unique, a project has its objectives, okay? Customer, sorry for this one, it has a logic, it is uncertain, and it has resources. Okay? Any question? I think so, none pa, no? Yeah, so far, let's jump into our next session, which is reflection. Okay, so this here, I will call again, no? But I want you to reflect on this question. Why do you think project fails? Okay, siguro for this one, I'll just call 2 people. Okay, so let's hear it from your experiences. Okay, wag naman yung masyadong obvious tapos ang ito-talk niyo about sa thesis niyo, ha? Okay. Baka at the end of this quick course natin, hindi na kayo friends. Okay, so let's call someone who will share to us his reflection on why do project fails. Yeah, let's call Jeffrey. Hi, Jeffrey.
Hello po, sir.
Yun. Jeffrey, why do you think project fails?
Siguro po, sir, siguro sa lack of planning po. Since pagka po hindi nakapagplano ng maayos is risk po siya sa failure po. Ganun po.
Okay, yeah. I think so, no? That is very, very straightforward answer. Meron nga tayong kasabihan eh. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So thank you, Jeffrey, no? Sir, JV, pakilista si Jeffrey, no? Thanks, Jeffrey. So let's call another one. Okay? Okay, let's call si Pressy. Hi, Pressy.
Hello po.
Yan. Hi, Pressy. Why
Hello
do you
po,
think
sir.
project fails?
Siguro po para po sa akin, kulang po sa oras or lack of time management po.
Nice. Parang wala ka namang pinariringgan yan, no? Pero that is actually true. So, normally, project probably fails. Well, I think so it has something to do, no? Because when we talk about time management, you also pertains to planning. Because once you have planned everything, you can identify the time that you need to allocate for that specific activity. So thank you, Pressy, no? Thank you for that answer. Okay, sige. Let's call one more before we jump in. Okay? So, yan. Hi, Valerie.
Hello po.
Yan. Hi.
For me po, unclear yung objectives or poor communication po dun sa kasama mo dun sa project.
Oh, nice. You provided two, no? Unclear objectives, and second, poor communication, which is very true. So, of course, kung yung objective pa lang malabo na, ay hindi mo talaga. I mean, wala kayong chance mag-fail ka. Meron nga tayong kasabihan. Puro kasabihan. Meron tayong I mean, I don't know if you have heard about this one. Pero meron nga sabi, Stephen Covey, okay? One of the, well-known leadership icon. Sabi niya, you should always begin with an end in mind. Begin with an end in mind. So parang hirap, no? Magbibigin ka tas end ka agad sa mind, no? But actually, it only means lang na whenever you do something, you should always already anticipate what would be the end result or the outcome. Okay? So begin with an end in mind. And yung second na sabi nga ni Valerie is poor communication. Actually, that is really true. And it not only on projects, siguro something that all of you guys can really relate is actually even in relationships, di ba? If you are poor in communication, most likely, mas madalas yung conflict. And that is also same and true when we're working with project. Don't worry, hindi ako magdadwell doon sa area na yun. Pero, just for you to relate, guys, na that is really true. Poor communication caused for a project to fail. So thank you, Valerie. Thank you, Prasino. So let's move forward. So thank you for your sharing. So now that we have those reflections, these are actually additional information or reasons why a project fails. Okay? So, yun. Okay. So very may pasilip pa. Nakasilip na. So I'll just siguro call, no, para everyone will have a chance. Okay. So we'll just need to pick out from this one and fill in the blanks. Hi RV, yan, si RV. Hi RV. RV, pili ka ng isa tapos kompletuhin mo yung sentence.
Hello po. Dinig po ako.
Yes, we can hear you. Pili ka ng isa, then please complete yung sentence.
Yung dito po sa lack of blank support.
Okay.
For me po, I think sa lack of management or organization support.
Okay. So, lack of management support. So, is it true ba? Lack of management support? Actually, that one is may pa pa. Ayun, tinatanggal lang pala. Okay. So that one is lack of executive level support or actually management. Yeah. So that is really true. Why do you think? Why do you think, RV? Sabi ni RV, wala namang ganun. RV, why do you think lang?
For me po kasi kasi di ba po sa yung mga executive level, sila din po yung nagbibigay ng decision po kung paano po mangyayari sa project po. po, ganun. If hindi po nila ma-handle yung tao nila, syempre po, parang maiiba yung flow or yung mapupuntahan ng project nila.
Okay, yeah, actually, that is right. Or most likely, they're the one who provide direction for the project. So, tama talaga. So, always remember that a project that is not supported by the management would have a big chances of failing. Diba? Kasi una pa lang hindi na suportado. Diba? Parang relationship din yan. Pag walang suporta ng isa't isa, bibigay. Okay, so let's call another one, no? So thanks RV. So let's call si John Kenneth. Iba na, si Kenneth is Kenneth lang kanina, no? Okay. Si ano naman ngayon, JK. Hi JK.
Hello po, sir. Yung ano po, piliin ko po yung pinakaunang sentence po ay sa taas. Para po sa akin, yung block po ay poor. Poor project and program management discipline.
Okay. So poor project and program management discipline. That's right. Why do you think that's a reason for a project to fail?
Kung, di ba po sabi po kanina, pag po nagkagulo-gulo na po yung ano, wala pong support from the management po, maliligaw po tayo ng landas. Kaya po may possibility po talaga na mag-fail po yung project.
Oh, nice. Nice, JK. Yup, that's really right. And also siguro an addition to JK, poor project and program management discipline also pertains to your expertise or yung specialty mo of managing the project. Because this only means lang, okay, so for example, di ba, you guys are IE students, no? So just imagine if IE ka, but you are provided with an electrical engineering siguro task, of course, doon pa lang, medyo meron ng disalignment. So, different in discipline. Diba? So, most likely, you'll have a poor hindsight or foresight dun sa gagawin mong task or activity. So, that is also the same when it goes to project management or program management. Kung na-assign ka as a project manager, but you don't really have yung project and program management discipline. So ibig sabihin poor, hindi naman ibig sabihin na wala ka. I always believe that people always have the potential to work on projects. In fact, every day we work on projects. Pero nagmamatter lang kung rich in knowledge ka or poor in knowledge, 'di ba? Kaya yung sinasabi natin na wala namang taong bobo. Diba? Wala naman talaga. So maybe they don't just have the enough information or the enough common sense to process that information or that idealism. So poor project will always lead you to failure. Okay? Diba? So thank you, JK. So let's call another one. So, yan, si John Mel. Oh, John Mel. Okay, JM. Hi, JM. Nagbabagong pangalan, no? John Mel.
Hello
Hi,
po,
John
sir.
Mel.
Hello po.
Yes. So,
Siguro po dun sa no blank management.
okay, so what do you think?
No, feeling ko po risk management po.
Okay, no risk management. Nice. Okay. Okay. So, no risk management. Ayan. Tama. Okay. Galing ni JM. So, what do we mean by no risk management, JM?
Yeah. Di ba po nasabi rin po kanina na yung about din po sa risk. So, syempre po pag di po nila ma-handle yung na-encounter po nilang risk sa certain project po nila. For sure, parang hindi po kagad magiging successful yung certain project since nasa team po kayo, then wala pong risk management. Eh di hindi po siya magiging malinaw para po sa lahat. Yun.
Okay. Yeah. Which is, I think, so really true. If there's no concrete direction, the project would really fail. In addition to risk management, dun sa sa ayan, sorry, no? Sa sinabi ni John Mel is risk is an anticipation. Di ba? Yung kaganina nga sinabi natin, risk could be an opportunity or a threat. But all in all, though the threat and opportunity should always be managed. Kaya meron tayong tinatawag na risk management. So, parang ano yan eh, katulad ng sinabi natin na if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Risks are actually inevitable for any project. Kasi nga, di ba, nandun yung project attributes natin ng uncertainty. That's why we never really know what will happen. Di ba? Yung parang sabi sa TikTok, how will they know? Actually, we can never know talaga what can happen. But we can always predict. No? That's why doon pumapasok yung risk management. At pag wala tayo niyan, okay, so there's a tendency that the project would have a high chance of failing. Okay, thank you, John Mel. So let's call another one. Okay, Sir JB, sana nalilista niyo, Sir JB, ba? Kasi,
Yes, sir. Nakalista.
ayun. Okay, let's call in si Rafael Godwin. Nice. Oo. Hi, Rap.
Good afternoon po.
Good afternoon. Yeah. So just select one.
Dito po sa sa no blank for evaluating the success of the project.
Okay. No.
No, parang for me po parang no knowledge for evaluating the success of the project.
Okay, so let's see, no knowledge. Okay, no knowledge ba? Okay. So actually, no measures. Though, most likely, di ba, pwede nating ipasok yon no knowledge. So, no measures. Yeah, especially sa side ninyo, no? You know how important it is to always measure. Guys, especially IE. So, paano natin masasabing something is normal or something has exceeded the normal kung wala tayo measurement for the threshold or baseline. Okay? And that is true for a project. Paano natin masasabi nag-success siya kung hindi naman natin alam kung ano yung basis for evaluating that project for success, di ba? So definitely, this will always boils down to a failure kasi we never know, di ba? So TikTok pa rin yung labas natin dyan. Okay, so thank you, Raf, no? So
thank you po.
Yeah, let's call another one. Konti na lang. But actually, you guys really have a good insight, no? For project. Si Andre. Hi, Andre, Kyle. Si AK. Ini-initials. Hi, Andre. Parang may narinig na ako, ah. Wala? Wala ba si Andre Kyle? Okay. Ayan, para ma-take note din ni Sir Zape. Sir Zape, tatawag ako ulit, ha? Okay, so let's call another one. Yan, si Christian Dave. Okay. Yeah. Hi, Christian.
Hello po, sir.
Yan. Okay. Yeah. Pick one and then, yeah.
Yung ano po, sir, yung pang last,
Okay.
inability to manage change po.
Okay. It's the inability to manage change, which is really true. Of course, again, if there's are already risk, no, and how will you know how to stay on the right direction? But yeah, go ahead, Christian. Why do you think that's inability to change will cause you failure on your project?
Ano po, sir? Halimbawa po, sir, if ever nagkaroon ng problem, hindi po agad nag-adapt or need ng, kumbaga yung sa plano, sir, is wala pong halimbawa plan A to plan B. If ever na may mag-fail, dapat po may susundan pong plano. Ganun po.
Okay. Yeah, actually it's nice. The one that you're sharing is about contingency. I think so that's the key word, no? So contingency is very important, especially when you're working project, di ba? So, and I believe so every one of us has ayun, kaya nga sinasabi nila for you to be able to be a good project manager, you need to have a good judgment. Okay? Because that judgment will somehow the one will push you to provide some contingency. Alam mo kung ito alanganin. Kaya that's why this is something that we need to consider. Ito tatapat ng tag-ulan. Ito alanganin to because it will still undergo certain processes sa cost. So that is very true. Okay, so I think so we still have two, but siguro I'll then be unveiling this one. So yung isa is actually yung first yung natitira sa taas, that is actually no linkage to the business strategy. So always remember guys, a project that is not aligned to the business strategy of an organization will always be a failure. Kasi bakit? It's because it doesn't stand into the purpose. Bakit nga ba nagka-project at the first, di ba? So it will always be a failure. Then lastly, wrong team members. Okay? So masakit man pero once you selected a wrong team member, di ba? The chance of the project to fail is really high, di ba? Siguro alam niyo yan kasi nag-thesis na kayo. Joke lang, okay? May issue. Okay. Lahat naman graduating. So ibig sabihin, you had the right team members. Okay? So let's move dun sa ating next session. Thank you guys, no, especially dun sa mga sumagot. Okay. So let's now jump into what is project management. Now that you have a clear grasp of what is project, let's now understand what is project management naman, diba? So I think so this is really parang parang no-brainer na kasi you know the project eh. These are managing projects. So let's see. Okay, so still according to PMBOK, why PMBOK is somehow a consolidated knowledge of expert in project management. That's why dito tayo daking nagre-refer. So sabi, project management is the application of knowledge, skills, tools, and techniques to project activities to meet the project requirements. Okay? So siguro i-drill down pa natin. So ano pong ibig sabihin pa niyan? Well, unahin na natin, sabi dito, project management is an application. So application, it's actually pertains to applying action. Okay? Kaya nga application. It's the applying of action. Okay? Guys, hindi joke yun na. Application. So ibig sabihin, there's actually an exerted force. Okay? Or there's an exerted force or an application of action in what terms? Okay? So isa-isahin natin. Sabi dito, knowledge, which is the principles, skills, which is the practice, as well as techniques, and lastly, tools, which could also pertains to software applications, okay? Or chart measurements, techniques actually, no? And so on and so forth. For what? Saan yung application niya? For project activities. Why? Bakit? For us to meet the project requirements. Okay? So guys, this is actually the concise definition of a project management. Project management is the application of knowledge, skills, tools, and techniques to project activities to meet the project requirements. Kaya meron tayong project management, it's because we need to meet the project requirements. Kaya kaginawang project manager is for you to apply your knowledge, your skills, tools, and techniques that you know to the project activities for us to achieve the project requirements. Okay? So, yan. Ito medyo mahirap. Okay. Blinerd ko muna. Okay. I'll call somebody. Okay? So, tignan nga natin kung nakikinig. Hindi, joke lang. Ang sama na pagdating sa kanya, nakikinig sir talaga. Okay, hindi. Challenge lang naman. I do understand, no? Pero sabi kasi nila, ang tawag dito, once in a while, yung span daw of our memory, it only lasts for 10 minutes. Pero hindi ako naniniwala for IE eh. So let's call somebody. Yan, si Angel. Feeling ko may divine intervention dito. Hi, Angel. Hi, Angel.
Hello po, sir.
Yan. O, try natin to, Angel, ha? So, what is project management daw?
The application of knowledge, skills, tools, and techniques to project activities to meet the project requirements po.
Wow, tama ba yun? Okay. So, ano yun? Yeah, tama. Nice. Ang galing naman ni Angel. Nice, Angel. So, clap sa'yo, no? So, that is right. So, again, application of knowledge, skills, tools, and techniques to project activities to meet the project requirement. Nice. So, tama pala talaga, no? Magagaling mga IE. Nice. Bola-bola lang tayo, no? Okay, so we're done with that one, project management. Let's now, jump into PM knowledge areas. Alam nyo guys, ako naniniwala, learning is fun. And sometimes, when you are enjoying what you're learning, hindi mo talaga mapapansin ang bilis ng oras. Anyways, jump tayo. PM knowledge. So ano ba itong PM knowledge? Actually, we call this project management knowledge areas. Okay? This is actually also in addition to the PM book. So, sabi ng mga expert, in order for us to manage our project well, we need to have these knowledge areas. Okay? For project management. Okay. So, sige. Siguro I'll just call 3 person. Okay. Just to give us 1. Okay? So, let's start now. Okay. So, isa lang. Thank you, Angel. Okay. Yan, si John Rev. Hi, John Rev. Can you provide 1 PM knowledge areas?
Hello po, sir.
Yes.
I think planning po.
Planning? Okay. So, well, final answer. 1 answer lang tayo. So, actually, John Rev, it's not. So, planning is actually a general concept, no? So, sige, I'll call another one. But thank you, John Rev, no? Okay. So, let's call another one. Jenny. Ayun. Ang Blackpink
Hello
to.
po.
Hi, Jenny.
Apo. Sa akin po, cost management po.
Oh, nice. Cost management. Actually, Jenny, you are right, no? So one of the knowledge areas for project management is cost management. Later on, we'll discuss that one. Okay, so thank you, Jenny. So I'll call another one. Okay, para ma-fulfill natin yung tatlo. So, Janine. Okay, hi, Janine. Can you provide 1 PM knowledge areas except for cost management? Kasi nasagot na ni Jenny. Hello? So wala pala si si Janine.
Sir, wala po si Janine Erico. Nawala daw po ng internet.
Ay, okay. Sakto Okay. Okay lang, Janine. Okay, so let's call Clarissa. Hi, Clarissa. Ano, baka magkapit-bahay ito sila, Janine.
Hello po, sir.
Ayun, hindi. May internet. Hi, Clarissa. Sige, give me 1 PM knowledge areas aside from cost management.
Risk management po.
Risk management. Actually, yes, you are right. So we have risk management in the PM knowledge areas. Okay, so let's jump into our discussion. Thank you, Clarissa, and thank you, Jenny. No? So what are these? No? So these are actually, just like I said, the knowledge areas that we need to understand in order for us to successfully navigate our project. So, unahin na natin dito yung project integration management. So, the concept of this is actually by gaining the knowledge that contains yung an overall task, okay, of between the other knowledge areas. Okay? So, anong ibig sabihin nun? Di ba meron tayong risk management, meron tayong cost management. So, yung offset, yung pag-offset ng mga management na to is actually also something that we need to manage. Okay? At yun yung tinatawag nating integration management. Okay? So later on, wait. Let me just show you kung meron ba ako yung picture of nung all in all na ano natin, knowledge areas. Ba't nga ba wala? Ayan, meron. So, ayan. Yeah, very quick. So, I'll be putting it here. Ayan. Okay, so this is actually yung mga knowledge areas na meron tayo for project. Ayan, okay. So, we have yung integration management, we have the scope management, schedule management, procurement, stakeholder risk, communications, resources, quality, and cost. So just imagine, no? Kaya actually guys, being a project manager is really also a hard task kasi just imagine, ang daming ang daming management, di ba? Okay? And if you are actually a big corporation or big group, sometimes, you know, if they can afford, they all really hire, they really develop yung kanilang PMO or project management office because project management is really actually a big elephant to chunk, no? So, ang integration management is the management on how you will integrate this all management, diba? Because we know that there's a link between your schedule and your cost, and the cost has something to do with your resources, diba? Your resources has something to do with your communications. So yung communications mo, it has something to do with risk and probably the stakeholders, diba? The procurement has something to do with the cost at the same time quality, diba? So that's how complex project management is. Okay? So bisitahin natin isa-isa. So just like the integration management, we're done about that. Next is yung scope. So si scope, actually, ano naman yung major focus niya? So mamnonotice nyo, itong graph, this is actually the graph that represent the scope management sa PMBOK. Okay? So scope management actually works more closely in managing kung ano yung scope and limitation of the project itself, no? Kung ano ba yung kasama, ano ba yung mga deliverables for that project. And normally we have techniques actually in managing scope. So dito pumapasok yung WBS. Okay? So WBS, this means work breakdown structure. So yan yung WBS is one of the things that we call best practice when it comes to project management. Okay, so aside from the scope, we also do have yung project schedule management. Okay, so yung project schedule, actually ito yung kumbaga sa project management na area, ito talaga yung madalas nyong makikita because this pertains to the development of schedule, understanding the logic between your specific activity or task. Okay? And once you have identified the scope, that's where we now can develop yung ating schedule. Kasi alam na natin yung gagawin, diba? And project schedule management actually involves different working areas. Okay, schedule management, defining activities, defining sequence. So that is yung logic, estimating durations, and all in all, developing and controlling it. Okay, so aside from the schedule management, we also do have yung cost management, yung kaganinang sinabi ni Jenny, no? So of course, cost is really a big factor for a project success. Okay? And sabi nga natin, a project would always require resources. And resources actually incur cost. Okay? So that is part of the knowledge areas that you need to know. Next is yung quality management. Okay, which is actually for you very familiar because you're an IE. So quality, we know that the quality is actually one of the important criteria, no, for a project success, because that is where we also base yung or we benchmark, no, yung ating magiging output or result. Okay, so aside from the quality, we have resource management. Guys, actually, if you will take a full course for project management, this management is further breakdown sa mga sa mga in details. But since we're just having it as a quick, I believe that knowing this will already a one step, no, for you. So resource management. So resource management actually pertains to the human relation area ng isang project. Diba? Especially pag malaki ang project mo, you will be needing a team. Okay? That wherein we call it project team. And in a much more complex settings of project, ang dami mo pa talagang kailangang different resources. So in my case, actually just to share with you, currently ngayon, 'di ba, tumataas yung presyo ng langis. We are actually working on a specific project right now along with one of the largest oil and gas company here in the country. So they have this scheduled turnaround and shutdown activity. So this is an activity wherein it only happens every 4 years. Every 4 years. So just imagine, you will be maintaining or you will be so yung may mga sasakyan yung i-overhaul yung sasakyan mo, parang ganun yung gagawin because they are actually an oil and gas refinery, diba? So may mga tubes, plant, vessels, tanks that need to be restored, rectified, or maintained. So since sa oil and gas kasi minuto lang yung may stop mo, milyon na yung mawawala. Especially right now, di ba? Sabi nga nila, buti pa yung gas nagmamahal. Okay? So, resource. And yun nga, in connection to resource, for that project, they would be needing 3,500 resource. Okay? Just to complete it in 2 months. Okay? So imagine mo na lang kung sa isang project mo, ganong karaming tao yung kailangan mo. Talagang kailangan mo ng resource management. And kung ganon karami yung tao, di ba? Kailangan mo ng communication management. Paano mo makakausap isa-isa yon? Okay, so doon pumapasok yung communication management that you works with planning the communication, identifying the line of communication, and so on and so forth. Okay, so iba pa yung vertical and horizontal communication. Okay, and since you're working with a number of resources, there's really a high chance that you miss out something. Diba? Sabi nga nila yung ang tawag dito, disintegration of communication is one risk already. Diba? Have you heard of it? Diba? Yung disintegration of communication. So that is also one risk. So that's why we have risk management. Procurement, as we all know, this is the management of the acquisition of anything that you'll be working for your project. And lastly, meron tayong stakeholder management, which is very important in a project. Kasi stakeholder pertains to those who have the interest in the project, either interest to make the project successful or a failure. So stakeholders, nandito yung mga investor. Minsan nandyan din yung mga ang tawag dito, detractor, di ba? So that's part of a project, especially or if you're working with a large project. Right now, naririnig natin mabubuhay yung Bataan Nuclear Power Plant. So that is actually a project. Build, build, build. Those are project. Okay? There are stakeholders. The president itself is the parang forerunner of those projects. So he's one of the project. However, there are actually people who also don't want yung success ng president. So in terms, they also become stakeholders, however, in the perception of detracting the project. So ganon actually, that is actually the scope of working with projects, especially on that larger area, no? Okay, so that is actually what we call the knowledge areas for project. So let's jump in actually yung mga susunod, very madali na lang because this is actually yung principles and how do we identify that a project is a success. Okay. So I'll be calling 3 persons. So just quickly tell me what do you think is yung 3 major success criteria natin. Okay, so let me now start, no? So let's call Yvonne. Yan. Napaisip ako doon. Hi, Yvonne. Ba mukhang wala si Yvonne na. Sige, let's call another one. Grace Ann. Yan. Hi, Grace Ann.
Hello po, sir.
Yan. So, can you give 1 project success criteria?
Project. I think, ano po, sir? Cost?
Cost.
Cost po.
Okay. Okay, sige, later natin, no, cost for Grace Ann. Pero actually, yeah, siguro to be specific later on, we will share yung answer. But hold on, Grace Ann, thank you for your answer, cost. So let's call another one. Chester Ken. Yan. Hi, Chester.
Hello po, sir.
Yan. Can you give me 1
Time po.
success? What?
Time po.
Okay. So sige, let's tandaan muna natin. Thank you, Chester, and I'll call another one, last one. John Kyle. Yan, si John Kyle. Hi, John Kyle.
Hello po, sir.
Yan. Can you give 1 project success aside from cost? Ayan na. Okay. Napindot. Okay lang, John Kyle. Nagpakita. Okay. Swerte, pero mamaya Okay, ikaw yung tatawagin ko. Okay, sorry for that. Okay, balikan natin yung sagot nila kanina, no? So, cost and time. Actually, hindi ko masabing tama because that they are actually a variable, okay? They are actually variable. But to directly say that they are a success criteria, actually this is the right term. So for us to identify that a project is success is either it finished on time, it finished within the budget, and it finished with a satisfied stakeholder. Okay? So this is actually the right answer. So yeah. So but thank you, no? Thank you because you get the idea. Again, the reason why, it's because those are variable. Okay? So those are variable. Siguro pag sinabi nating project success variable, so pasok yun. Pero it's a criteria wherein, iba pag criteria, it's a set of condition. Okay? That it needs to be on time, within budget, and satisfied stakeholders. Okay? So guys, tandaan nyo to kasi pag tinanong kayo ng boss nyo, paano mo nasabing ano yan? successful, um, hindi niyo naman sasabihin na ano po, time po. Diba? Sasabihin niyo kasi po on time. Okay? Okay. Just to clear. Okay. So, okay. Ayan, umaarangkada na tayo. So aside from learning that, yung success criteria, we do have also what we call project priorities. So ano ba yung project priorities? Okay. So I do have this script, no? Parang comic strip. Sabi dito, from Scott Adams, sabi niya dito, and those are the company priorities for the coming year. Any questions? Sabi nung isang nakaupo, should I be concerned that none of my projects relate to any of those priorities? Sabi nung katabi niya, you're overthinking again. Okay? So, siguro yung yung mga nakakuha ng point, yeah. So, yung mga natawa or nakarelate, yeah, it's a good at least naintindihan nyo kahit English. Okay. But most likely, priorities is actually part of working on a project. Kasi di ba, kunwari, binigyan ka ng project, tapos wala naman siya pala dun sa priorities, that would also define how will you act on that project. Okay? So, it always relates to the organization's overall goal. Okay. Okay, interaction ulit tayo. Okay? So, provided that your project represents a small triangle, how will you represent your project in relation to the overall goal of the organization? So guys, I want you to again, nasaan na ba? Again, go to our Mentimeter. So let me just open my Mentimeter. Okay. And tama. Okay. And I want you to help me answer this question. Okay. Wait. Yan. Okay. So I want you guys to, okay, again, go to this. And sabi dun sa ating di ba? Okay, paste ko ulit yung link. Okay. So ano yung sabi dito sa condition natin? Okay. Provided that you are a project manager and your project represent yung small triangle, how will you represent your project in relation to the overall goal of the organization? Okay. So ano yung selection natin? Naintindihan ba yung question? Kung meron ka daw project, okay. Ayan. Uy, nice to Nice. Kasi medyo may pagka-psychological question to eh. So, makikita nyo yung abstract reasoning nyo dito. Abstract reasoning, nyo. Okay. Sige pa, abutin na. Kala mo nagla-live selling eh. Pwede ba natin makabutin ng mga 45? Okay. Makaabot lang po 45. Ano na tayo? Go na. 32. Naku, natulog na ata yung iba. 30. 36. 40. O, kahit 40 na lang. 40. Oh, 41. Okay. Hahabol pa ba? 41. 42. Okay. Oh, 43. Nice. Okay. So, I think so, stop na natin yung poll. But you can also still jump in. Okay. So, ang sagot nyo, okay. Tandaan nyo guys, no? Okay. Most of your classmates answer yung option 3. Okay. Only one person believe that option 1 is the answer. While 3 person, somehow siguro nag-usap-usap. Alam niyo sa TikTok yung intuition challenge. Nice. May 3 sila. Pero 35, grabe no, 35. Then 4 for option 4. Okay, thank you guys for your participation. Let's go back from our discussion. So sabi dito, if your project represents a small triangle, which is yung yellow, and the organization's overall goal is green, so how will you represent it? So actually, abstract, since abstract yung question, if you would want to represent this, okay, most likely, this should be represented as this one. Okay, so bakit? Okay, so talking about for any organization, okay, your project should always align to the overall goal of the organizations. Okay, so going back to this representation, you'll notice that a triangle always identifies improvement, diba? So, yung project mo dapat, it should always align to that improvement. So, if the organizational goals geared toward to the top or forward, so your project should also be a forward project. Okay? So, guys, going back dun sa ating naku, parang delikado yung mag-hire dito. Yung project niya taliwas. Pasok doon sa pasok sa goal ng organisasyon, pero taliwas sa pag-unlad, no? Okay, bumaling ng direksyon eh. Okay? So it should always be aligned to that. It can always represent you have the project organization goal. Hindi na nga siya align, taliwas pa siya sa direksyon. Ang tawag dito, hindi na siya align, ang tawag dito, nasa parehong direksyon pero hindi lang align dun sa organizational goal. Ito naman, okay, alam niyo na ibig sabihin. So only four have somehow have the creative and abstract reasoning prowess. Nice. So clap dun sa 4. Okay, tingnan natin mapangalanan. But going back to our discussion, okay, so this should be the representation of our project. It should always be aligned to the overall goal of the organization. Okay, so now let's identify the project priorities. So how do we prioritize a project? So we do have 2 words. So I'll be calling 2 person just to tell us siguro ano yung hula nila for these 2. Ano kaya tong 2 words na to? Okay, so let's call in Emanuela. Hi, Emanuela. Hello?
Hello, Professor.
Yeah, hi, Emanuela. Can you provide me any one of these 2 words? Which do you think is a factor in setting project priorities?
Come again. My connection is choppy. I'm not getting the question.
No worries. So, okay, can you provide at least one from these 2 words that you think is a factor in setting project priorities? So, yeah. So, this is actually a 7-letter word that ends with Y. And the other one is a 5-letter word that starts with V. So, do you have any idea or guess? Probably a wild guess, no?
Okay.
Yeah, you can say anything. Activities. Okay, so nice try, Emanuela, but actually it's not, no. Thank you, Emanuela. I'll be calling another one. Okay. Okay, let me call one more. So for this Valerie Ann. Okay, for this item, anyone who can provide the right answer, anyone of these 2. I'll give siguro 3 points, okay, each. Sir JV, please take note, ha? Okay, so si Valerie. Hi, Valerie. Yeah, Valerie Ann. Hi, Valerie Ann. Do you have any idea or guess what is this 2 factor that help us set project priorities?
Hello po, sir. Quality and value po.
Okay. Actually, the first word quality, it's not, but the value, you are correct. Okay, so nice. Yeah, nice try, Valerie. No, so value is tama. So let's reveal. Actually, the first word is urgency and value. So yeah, so my 3 points C. My 3 points yung group ni Valerie Ann. Thank you, Valerie Ann. Okay, nice. So, kung ano mang group ni Valerie Ann, thank you kay thank you kay Valerie, 3 points kagad yon. So, syempre, we set project priorities based on the urgency and also on the value that it can contribute on the overall goal of the organization. So, if you notice, projects come in all shapes and sizes. So, however, it boils down to the common yung commonality nila that it drives towards the success of the overall organizational goals. Okay, I hope that is clear, guys. Okay, so let's jump into our next topic. Okay, which is very easy na lang to. Project constraints. Okay, so I'll be calling siguro 3 persons. So just tell me one lang, kahit one project constraint. So medyo bilisan natin to, ha? So 1 point each. Let's call on Gail Maria Angelica. Uy, grabe, ha? Ito talaga may divine intervention to. Hi, Gail. Can you give at least one project constraint? Mukhang divine nga, ah. Sige, mukhang wala si Gail. So let's call si Chabelita. Hi, Chabelita.
Hello po, rinig po ako?
Yes, rinig ka. Actually,
Ano
pwede
po?
mo mabibigay. Kung mabibigay mo yung 3, it's okay.
Sige po. Ay, hindi ko po alam kung sure ano po. Cost, scope, and time po.
Oh, hindi pa sure dyan si Chabelita. Actually, you're correct. That is cost, time, and scope. Nice. 3 points for Chabelita's group. Thank you. Sige. So, this is the triple constraint. Why we call it triple constraint? Because adjusting this to our project can affect the other side. So, kaya siya represented for this one. Di ba, alam naman natin sa geometry, meron tayong tinatawag na perfect triangle, no? So, all of the sides have equal in measure, no? If we adjust one, mababago na. So that is also same with the triple constraint. Kaya siya constraint because adjusting time will adjust your cost, di ba? Pag gusto mong pabilisin, kung gusto mong pabilisin in some certain aspect, you can just simply add manpower. However, adding manpower will be adding cost as well to your project, diba? If you would want to improve the methodology or probably the scope deliverables, you need to adjust the time. If you want to lessen the scope, you can cut the time. At the same time, probably you can cut the cost, diba? So that's why it's triple constraint, that anything that you adjust on your project has something to do with the rest of the variable. So dito pumapasok yung sagot kaganina nila Jenny. Okay, always remember that. Okay, so pasok na natin. Kung meron tayong triple constraint, actually meron din tayong secondary constraint to the project. So ito naman yung, ayan. Oops, yun, no? Sumilip na yung isang sagot. So siguro hindi na ako magtatawag. But actually, this actually pertains doon naman sa secondary factors. Kung meron tayong triple constraint, ito naman yung something that has something to do with the other factors. So if you adjust the time and cost, you'll be adjusting the resources. But at the same time, you will also be ang tawag dito, encouraging some risk. Okay? And it is somehow affecting the quality. Okay? So these are the variables and factors that we need to always play with every time that we want to work with our projects. Okay, so the project life cycle. So this is very quick and easy. So what does this mean? So this means lang na yung ating project has a different phases. Okay, so always remember we have 5 project life cycle phases. Okay, so what are these 5 project life cycle phases? So these are the initiating, planning, executing, monitoring and control, and closing. So very very easy and concise to understand. All of this actually in terms of the PMBOK somehow can be concluded into this graph. So we start with initiating, then planning, then from here meron tayong cycle or iteration sa executing, monitoring and control. And lastly, if that is okay na, I mean we have already done yung controlling, monitoring, executing, that leads to closing. Okay, and all of this has something to do with the time. Okay, so ano pa ba yung mga other informations that we can further, or how do we initiate these activities? Okay, so let's jump into yung other yung bawat isa. Ayan. Okay, so let's jump into ayun no. Thank you, Sir Jabe. Kala ko hindi niyo na na-capture eh. Okay, so let me just share again my screen. Ayan. Ay, gunyang gumalaw kanina. Okay. So all of those relates to time. So ano ba yung ginagawa natin when we talk about, okay, balik tayo dun sa una. Ayan. So when we talk about initiating, so actually, sa initiating phase, this is the start. So first, we identify actually who will be the responsible for the project. That's why we get the project manager. Then we develop the project charter. So si project charter, as we call it charter, so it's actually a piece of documentation that talks about the nature of the project. Later, meron tayo niyang papakita ko sa inyo what comprises or composes the project charter. Identify the stakeholders. Sino ba yung ating mga customers? Again. Then we define the planning phase, no? So what are the steps and what are the necessary necessary items that we need to consider in planning? And manonotice nyo, an initiating phase always end with a sign off. Because whatever we created from here, that will be transferred to the next stage, which is planning. And again, there should always be a definite end. Kasi hindi naman pwedeng upaad to, adpad. That is where we became a victim of scope creep. Okay? Yung hindi na tayo naka-move forward dahil add ng add. Okay? So let's jump into our next phase, which is planning. Okay. Kung manotice nyo, no, very straightforward yung planning. Pag nakuha mo na sa initiating, sa stakeholders na develop na, so yun na. Develop ka na ng project work plan. So pag na-develop nyo na yung project work plan, identify and organize the staff of the project, then sign off. Okay? Very, very straightforward as it looks or as it seems here. But actually, Okay, but actually, this is the very tedious part, yung planning. Because this is actually also works with iteration. Okay? So, and actually, this is the phase na, ito yung pag-aaralan natin next session, no? So, I will be reserving some of it. So, let's jump into the next phase, which is the executing, monitoring, and control. Okay, once you have already developed yung plan, of course, what's the next thing to do? To execute that plan. Again, it should be executed. Kung plano lang yun, walang action, hindi yun project management because project management is applying action. Kaya application of the knowledge skills, di ba? Yung kaganina, knowledge skills tools to the project activities for us to meet the project requirement. Okay, that's why executing, monitoring, controlling is very important. So execute the plan, manage the plan, implement the project's result, and then sign off. There should always be sign off. Kasi paano natin masasabing tapos tapos nagawa na, okay? Nagawa na. Dito kasi yung tapos na eh. But nagawa na yung project kung walang sign off. Okay? Then, so the next stage is yung closing. Okay. Na-notice yung difference? Initiating and closing is actually yung medyo has a number of activities to do. Well, these are yung mga ceremonies to do. It's very important. It's because you are formally initiating a project and you are actually closing a somehow develop or consume, spend project, di ba? That's why it's very important that we are closing the project formally. So document the lessons learned, post-implementation review, we provide feedback, close out contracts, and this is actually very tedious to do. So may sometimes meron pa dyan yung mga liquidations. If there are certain damages or if there are some certain breach of contracts, so complete administrative close out. It's easy, sabi nga nila, madaling gawin, mahirap tapusin because in some cases yung administrative, it's really very tedious. So this includes yung mga documentation, and lastly a final project report. So that's actually typically yung how a project life cycle works on. But of course, it depends on how complex the project is. Especially right now, actually ngayon yung mga project, they have these two sides of project. Minsan sobrang dali, minsan sobrang extreme na hirap. Okay? Okay. So, yan, we are now drilled down dun sa project charter. Di ba kaganina I've talked about project charter every time that we start a project. So, si project charter is actually a documentation that includes this, okay? Includes the project details, includes the stakeholders list. Okay, project details, okay. Of course, information about the project. Later, I'll be showing you a sample of the document, which I'll also be giving it to you, as your reference. And also as a part of the assessment that we will be having on the 4th day. Summary, milestone schedule, and project consideration. Okay, for you to truly appreciate this one, okay, I'll be showing to you yung ating project charter. Okay, so this is actually a project charter. So if you notice, it's a document. Okay, ginanyan ko lang para maganda yung view. Pero pwede naman natin isolo siya. Yeah. So it's a project charter that includes what's the business objectives, the project requirements, the description or the deliverables for your project, and the exclusions, okay, which is very important, resources, stakeholders list. Stakeholders, anything that has something that is affected of your project or has something to do, of course, if they are respondents, if they are the project teams, so of course they are part of it. Okay, if there are the sponsors, the investors, definitely. Summary milestones. What are the specific milestones of your project? Of course, the project start, the project finish, the completion of what, a buying of this material. So we will be discussing this tomorrow, no? Yung milestones. And lastly is yung mga project considerations. So project considerations, this includes actually documentations of these items, risk, the success criteria, and the assumptions and constraints of the project. So guys, I'll be giving this to you for your reference, especially I know that yun nga, soon you'll be graduating and be working, no? So this is a good reference once you are being tasked to deliver a project or even be a part of a project team. I've just noticed, no, somehow, sorry, we have extended 6 minutes, but anyways, we've started actually very late na rin, no, Sir Jay? Ay, parang nakita ko, tag dito, 5, yeah, we're somehow discussing things. But anyways, yeah, I think so. We have, ayun nga, we've come to the final part of our discussion for this day. And this is actually this is a reflection. Siguro for this one, I'll just leave it to you as an assignment. Then let's just have this as a reflection, review on our second day. No, yeah. If ever that we still have time, sana kasi I'll be asking you to answer that one. So guys, okay, yan. Manotice nyo, no? We have run through the different topics. And yung sabi ko nga sa inyo, yung ating may knowledge meter. So gumagalaw yan. So ibig sabihin, you have actually garnered those those knowledge. Okay? So, okay. Siguro it's just fair for me to assume that you have learned the lesson. And since you have learned the lesson, I think so, you can definitely work on this one. So, since full tank yung inyong mind, so I want you to create a mind map to summarize the key concepts that you've learned. Okay? So don't worry, this will be a group effort. So I want you to work with your groups. So I believe marunong naman kayo mag-mind map. Tama ba? Tama. Okay. Wala namang ibang sagot kundi tama lang. Okay? So, guys, that would be the end of our day 1 of our first day. I hope marami kayong natutunan and I hope nag-enjoy din kayo because learning is fun. Sige, I don't know how to end this one but I'll be siguro returning the screen kay Sir JB. Hi, Sir JB. Hello. Hi, Sir JB.
Yes, Sir Jan. Thank you for presenting for the project management. And thank you din sa mga estudyante na nag-participate during the sessions. So although yung iba gustong magsumagot, pero since nakarelate tayo, you don't have the choice.
May mga sumagot. Sorry guys. Pabalata naman, Angel. Ngayon ko lang nabasa. Okay.
May mga, yun nga. Yan. So maybe sa, if we are willing, edi...
Yes. Well, we still have day 2. We have day 2, we have day 3. So,
so we still have 3 days remaining. And I hope for the IE students, you learn a lot from the day 1, the overview about the project management, the importance, the significance, and everything. And mas maintindihan pa natin sila sa susunod pang mga sessions. So for now, so that's all muna din. So thank you so much again. And Sir John, meron ba silang activity na gagawin?
Yes. Actually, this one, siguro Sir Jay, I'll just be sharing with you. Actually, ito lang. Create a mind map. Kasi yung isa, we will just then talk about sa second day.
Okay.
Discussion. But this one, I want everyone to create a mind map to summarize the key concepts that we have talked about. 'Di ba? We've talked about, actually, yun eh. And once you have summarized it, I think so doon pumapasok yung organized thoughts of project management.
Okay. Sir, saan nila gagawin? Sa Word file na lang?
Actually, I'm a fan of PowerPoint.
PowerPoint?
Okay,
Okay.
sa PowerPoint. Yeah.
Okay,
Para
sa PowerPoint.
ma-present din natin dito. Sir James, since this would be, okay. I know it's somehow, kung hindi man mahirap, would it be okay if you can, if they can submit it tomorrow para we can also have it.
Yes. Sir, by group naman po ito. So I
Yeah.
think they can create naman.
Okay. Sige sir, yun lang naman.
Okay, sir.
I think so wala naman nang kailangan isubmit, no? Kasi madali lang, mind map. Okay.
Okay, so yun. So again, class, no, so kindly create the mind map, the summarization of the key concepts that you learned today. So this is by group, and you will randomly, no, yung sino mag-present by tomorrow ng ginawa niyong mind map. Siguro very quick lang naman yung discussions na to. Kung ano yung siguro single PowerPoint, nandun na lahat.
Yeah.
Mismo.
One pager lang, one pager.
Okay, yan. So ayun. So that's all. So thank you again and good night everyone. Then see you.
Good night everyone.
Thank you, Sir Jan. Salamat po.
Salamat din.
Thank you po, sir.
Thank you, sirs.
Thank you po.
Thank you po.
Thank you po.
Thank you po, sir.
Thank you po.
Thank you po.
Thank you po, sir.
Yep. Thank you. Welcome.